Hello, everybody. Welcome back once more to Road to Suffer Campaign 1, The Blue Lamp. Our ongoing D&D campaign. Today, as always, I am Francisco, my pronouns are she, her. I am the Dungeon Master as per usual. And today, joined by 4 of my 5 players, since Maxi, unfortunately, is taking a little bit of a breather after a very busy week. In the meantime, I think I'll just get to introducing all of my players, and today we're doing something a little different. I'm just going to go in alphabetical order. Algernon, talk a little bit about yourself and Xiomara.
It's always me first. Hi, I'm Algernon, they, them. I play Xiomara, also they, them. God, Xiomara is so much having a little bit of an identity crisis right now, but finding the power of friendship, so to speak, and the emotional viability to trust in other people. And also ready to kick the ass of Omni's weird kinky uncle.
Absolutely. Algernon, for today's special challenge, I'm just going to start shuffling, and you can say stop whenever you want.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Stop.
Hammer time.
The High Priestess. So for those watching for a long time who like hearing me repeat things, or for those coming in for the first time ever, at the beginning of every session, I like to give all my players a little prompt, a little challenge, a little temporary goal for the session, so they can so they know what kind of motivation, where they kind of want to take their character motivation. Let me just find. Oh, it's the second card. And usually we would have a roll off, and I would have 6 prompts prepared. We've basically exhausted all of them at this point, and since recently I've been tarot cards a bit on my mind. Today we're just straight up just drawing from the major arcana. So, Xiomara, how about this session? You try to appeal to the wisdom you didn't know you had. You try to follow your intuition.
Ooh. All right.
Very good. I'm going to put aside the High Priestess. I'm going to reshuffle my deck. And Ante, why don't you start talking about yourself and Seti?
Hey, it's I, Ante, he, him, playing Seti, also he, him, who is currently exploring the darkness inside and is on a path of joining the fate of, I think if it was Umbra?
Umbra, yes.
Which is
the goddess of shadow.
Basically had been decided after the session of last time.
And we will see what this darker but more decisive path will lead, Seti. Antia, I'm going to start shuffling. You can say stop whenever you want.
Yeah, but will I say stop?
The lovers.
Ooh.
Oh.
Damn, okay.
But what does it mean?
Well,
What could it mean?
It says here, divine union, strong bonds, relations, and common values. Seti, this session, you want to find connection with another being and maybe find some kind of deeper connection.
All right.
We'll take up the lovers. Florian, talk a little bit about yourself and Tyr and maybe speak up a little bit.
Hello! Can you hear me? Okay, cool. My name's Florian, he, him. I'm playing Tyr, also he, him. I'm, at this point, definitely retired god. Kind of just living, outside of the system that he grew up in and protecting the people that he likes very much on their journey.
Excellent, Florian. As with the others, I'm going to start shuffling, and you can say stop whenever you want.
Give me the fool. Stop.
the chariot.
Okay.
I think I actually know what this one is too. That's
Sounds familiar.
that's the 7. Yeah. Control, willpower, success, action, discipline, and decisiveness. Tia, this session you're going to make a plan and follow through with it.
Oh fuck! I'm the worst at that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you, but Tyr is not.
Last but absolutely not least, Costa, please talk about yourself and Stacy.
Hi, it's me, Coolster, she, her. Playing football and lost today horribly.
No.
So I hope
in
today in D&D I will not lose. But how can Stacy lose when she tries to keep nature's balance and also the balance in her group? Yeah, she is kind of in her second puberty, but we haven't seen much of that as of now. But maybe it will change.
Maybe indeed. Of course, the same as with the others. Say stop whenever you want.
I'd like to have the scale, so now I say stop.
The Hierophant.
Almost. But also quite fitting, I guess, for a druid.
I think you're thinking of the Hermit.
Oh, maybe.
Damn, why you gotta do it like that?
Traditions and rituals. Institutionalized knowledge, conventions, and acceptance. Stacy, I need you to honor the old rituals and try to follow the old way this session. And that's this session's reading at the beginning. Feel free to jot down anything I just said to you, and at the end of the session, we're going to come back to that. Fantastic. Catching up with what we even did last session. After a long, grueling week of wandering and adventure, the party came back to the town of Wago to share what they've learned about this accursed forest and this accursed town. They learned much, and they learned even more when they came. New alliances were forged, and connections were deepened with allies you already have. And lots of jokes were made, which damn near made me drop my focus. When, at the end of the day, the town was attacked by a servant of Ilmar, the Lord of Chains, the god of the cult that had held Stacy and Seti captive at the beginning of the campaign. Whatever they're trying to do in the forest now, it does not bode well. An apparition of the god himself came into being and warned the party that if they were not gone or dead in 6 weeks, he would come and haunt them and destroy them the same way he would the town. Afterwards, the cultist who set fire to the town's Faesong tree, had turned into an anointed Desmol. A creature most holy to Ilmar, though it may appear horrifying on the side. And let me find the correct playlist. In the meantime, Stacy, your turn is coming up.
Yes.
You can like to do.
So, Stacy firstly shouts over to Xiomara. Theo, I'm so sorry, but I really have to do this now. And she starts chanting in Druidic, and she's getting really into the vibe. And as you look up into the sky, you start to notice that it begins to snow since Stacy casts Sleet Storm.
All right. Can you show me what the spell does, or read it to
Yes.
me?
I quickly post it in the chat here as well. I have a 20-foot tall cylinder with a 40 feet radius. The starting point is the marked X. So that's why I have
Right.
already
No.
marked it down. And 40 feet would be this square.
Hang on.
Damn, okay.
There's
Really
the circle.
taking it personal.
Hmm.
So
Which would affect Simara, the tree, and the decimal.
yes. And the main goal was to douse the fire.
Moment. No, no. Yeah, give me one moment.
Yeah, don't worry.
I was on the wrong layer, as I usually am when I use Clip Studio Paint.
Yes, so every creature which starts in this marked area has to do a no, I think it's a dexterity saving throw.
Absolutely.
If you don't make it, you fall prone.
Perfect. I'm just gonna roll for the decimal. Simara, please give us a dexterity saving throw as well.
You can wait until the start of your turn, because it's always just at the start of your turn.
Right. Okay. And the rest of you watch as Stacy, with a little chanting and the snap of her goddamn fingers, douses the fire.
And also what you can notice is that all of her visible skin turns to scaly, silvery, scales.
Scales.
Yeah,
Scaly
it
silvery
was like,
scales.
damn, okay,
Well,
good.
I'm glad I'm not. Fantastic. Would you like to do anything else on your turn, Stacy?
No, because you just see how exhausted Stacy is from this heavy spell, and she pounds, like pants, and
Pounds.
she leans a little bit forward, having her arms on her knees, and is like, "See, you still sorry that you're cold now."
No.
Xiomara, how you looking?
Mm. You know, I mean, this sucks, but I can understand it. It's just like, yeah, okay, sure. Like,
The rest
I
of you
only
watch
take it a
as
little bit personal.
Xiomara stands stoically and wordlessly, stiffly inside of the area of effect. I just skipped the turn of the decimal, but then I remember that he's paralyzed, so we're just gonna carry right along to Tyr.
All right. I guess I will bonk it. I just need to see how I do it. Be very difficult. Actually, yeah. Okay, I'll try to hit it.
Go ahead.
10 does not hit, I assume.
You have advantage since it's paralyzed. Roll twice.
16.
16.
I can show you what I rolled.
That will just miss.
Damn. Okay. Well, I'll attack again. Do I still have advantage?
Yes.
Okay. 20.
20 will hit.
Nice. And then I do 12 damage, 1d8 plus 4.
Excellent. You deal 12 bludgeoning damage.
Indeed. And that will be my turn.
You hit one of its arms, and you see as it falls limp. Sorry. It then retracts into the body of the creature and is replaced with a different arm.
Oh.
It is now Omni's turn. Omni, who's just gotten up with a bonus action, is going to. Let me look at the skill sheet. Skibidi. It's going to reapply the Hexblade's curse on the decimal. So I'm going to say, well, then let us see just how faithful of a servant you are. Seri, it's your turn.
All right. I'm standing next to it,
That's right.
so I can Were my gloves active? I think not, if I'm mistaken.
I dare say they are.
Oh, okay, nice.
You activated them on your very first turn, I believe. When you were able to move.
Yeah. So then I'm going to use them to beat this thing in the schnoz.
Remember, you still have advantage. Until the
Put your
is
dex
it
or
paralyzed until the end of your turn, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think so, yeah.
Perfect.
I'm trying to find. Just an unarmed strike.
Excellent.
Oof.
14 will miss, unfortunately. I believe that is a 15 now because you enter your intel.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks to the arms of Tekore. All right, carry on.
Second attack.
A 26 will hit for sure, yes.
Right. Then I'm doing 8 unarmed damage. And I'm going to try another.
I dare say when you have the arms of Tekore activated, you deal slashing and lightning damage and not just bludgeoning damage.
So the 8 is the slashing damage.
All right.
And then the lightning is. Wait, why is it not there?
Mm-hmm.
2d8 slashing.
That's right.
So that's 11. No, that's slashing.
That's 11. Oh, yeah.
I feel like
Okay,
I'm doing
going to
something
distract
wrong.
I'm just going to detract an additional 3 damage.
It's like the d8s. No, it's 3d8, so I need to add another one. Because it's my proficiency.
All right.
Uh,
Add your
so
38.
it's 16
Another,
lightning damage.
another 5 damage. And the lightning damage is?
No, that's the fifth.
Right.
The 11 and the 5 is the lightning damage.
11 and the 5.
The 16.
All right. I just.
And then I think I
subtracted
missed
8 plus
1
5.
d8 slashing. Which is another 5. And math is difficult. And then it can make a DC 14 con save.
Perfect. I will do exactly that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a critical success.
So it's not stunned. I tried.
No longer stunned at the end of your turn.
Yes. But that's my turn.
That is your turn. Which means, no longer stunned. The Desmo is going to use its first legendary action this round. Finger
No,
for
you're
God.
16.
Going to see just how much you hurt all of its limbs back. And pull out a chain out of its massive twisted corpus, and start trying to tie you up in them steady. That's going to be.
I mean, no.
Okay, I see. It's going to be a 15 to hit.
Misses.
You step aside in just the right moment. Yeah, it's going to be its legendary action, which brings us right down to Xiomara. Please give us a dexterity saving throw.
I have
Of
something to
course.
add. because I have the tea drinker ability, all allies within 60 feet of the affected creature, me, may use a reaction to add 1d6 to their saving throws and armor class.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice. I mean, would 18 save me,
yeah,
or am I
It would save you
okay?
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I might want to save your reaction there.
But that's
Yeah.
because you're a tea
Yeah.
drinker.
Yes,
Nice.
I received that. Okay.
That's some good
Okay,
tea.
and it's not stunned anymore, so I'm not going to move away because I will not. No, I do not want that. I would love to cast Burning Hands, but because it affects everything in a 15-meter cone, I would like to angle it. Wait, I had it
In
measured
such a way?
a little bit more towards Tyr, so that it just scrapes by him. Yes, exactly like this.
So he gets a hot whiff of it, but
Yeah, so
nothing
he's like,
more.
oh my god, so hot.
Toasty.
Wasn't this thing made of fire, by the way?
Yeah, I have nothing else.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
For everything else, I have to move away, and then I will get attacked immediately. So I'm like, no. Let us try this. At least it's something, you know?
I need to give you a dexterity saving throw, I believe.
Yes.
Right. Let me just. That's a 10.
That is way too little. And that is, wait, 8 points of damage.
Yay.
Amazing. Really good.
But
Yes.
because of my staff, I can add my modifier to that because it's fire damage. So that is 12 points of damage.
You deal 6 points of fire damage.
You know, it's better than nothing.
Correctly. Good work.
And I will just stay there.
And watch it burn.
Truly.
Before its turn started, you're going to use its second legendary action and teleport over here.
Ooh.
Oh.
Since no one is in the... Oh, wait.
I
Hang
am.
on. It creates a... it has an area of effect when it teleports from where it leaves and where it lands. No one stands where it's landing, but a couple people stand where it is leaving. So that's going to be a omnipresence. That's 30 feet. Okay.
God damn.
Uh-oh. I am indeed.
Uh-oh.
30.
Oh,
Damn. Okay.
fucking kidding me.
That's fine. You can still succeed.
You most certainly
all
can.
creatures are pushed away 10 feet. I'm just gonna put all of you away.
You're putting us away?
We are nothing but blade.
Omni is thrown through one of the stalls.
Oh no.
And each of you, please give me a Constitution.
Do you need then a double Constitution saving throw from myself because I'm concentrating on Sleet Storm?
No, not yet.
Okay.
If you fail this save and take
Is it
damage, then you're gonna have to make a concentration check. Yes.
Is it a spell?
So
Or a
I will
magical
use my
effect?
inspiration on that.
it's not a spell, Seti. No.
Ah, shit.
So was one, and then a second one because of my inspiration.
Ooh.
All right. Who got a 21 or higher?
A 21 or no, fucking
Damn, only
God.
80. 18.
only 18, yeah. Fuck.
Well, again, since all of you can see Stacy, except Stacy, you can add another d6 for that user reaction.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that will help
Yes!
me. But
Will I use my reaction for yes, I try it.
Omni
Where's
also
my-
does not make it. But they do.
Yeah,
Okay.
21 was it, right?
Yes. You
Yeah.
just made it.
Coolstar, I will say, I don't think Tear Drinker affects you, unless that's not what I wrote down.
Oh. Can't I see myself? But okay, no, it's fine. I will not make it. It's fine. But
No,
at least
honestly, if
I.
everybody does it, I'm gonna no.
Okay, so, Sio, what do you got?
A 20 with everything combined.
You do not make it. Tear, what did you get?
Well, if you, I mean, I got a 9.
Seti?
I had a 24.
You make it, and with a 22, Omni makes it also. Those of you who didn't make it, you take
The bus hole.
16 damage.
Oh my
16?
god.
What type of damage?
That's, gosh, yeah, that was 3 slashing and 13 radiant damage.
Fuck it, was
Now, I believe as of last session, you're resistant to slashing, aren't you?
I am.
You only take 15 damage. You are
Okay,
weak
so
to. Yeah.
Stacy
16
lies on the floor,
No.
unconscious.
No.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
How many
baby
failed
girl.
saves are you at? Just the one, right?
No,
none,
none
actually.
yet.
You are
No,
0-0.
none. Yeah, 0-0.
0, 0, 0, 0.
Why are you so tiny?
I only had 13 hit points left. So with the 16,
Yeah. So 0-0. Great. With that being done, that's going to be the end of its legendary action, and it's going to start its turn now. The
Uh-oh.
Desmo will.
the area
Yeah.
of effect is gone now also because I'm unconscious. Just to say.
Just say it. Great. Well, the sleet storm is gone, but it did its job, so that's nice.
Yes.
Hang on, let me go back to the token layer. Let me remove all of these. Oh yeah, can you give me a concentration saving throw on the cloud of daggers here, Mark?
Of course.
You need to roll. You need to
Right.
beat a DC 8.
17.
Oi.
Woo!
Oh, sorry. It's to a minimum of 10, so you have to beat a 10.
17 still does that.
17.
I'm confused why there's 2 numbers.
Because I get wait.
Advantage.
I only know that I get like extra buff on concentration saves because of something that I have. When it is because of my war mage thing. But I actually
Alright.
do not know why that goes
No,
over
War
like
Mage
this.
gives you advantage on concentration. That's true.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, that being done, I need to. It's going to use the command spell, and it's going to point one of its long, spindly arms at you, Tyr.
God damn.
You see its bulging, glowing eyes burn with fiery hatred as you hear a divine voice say, "Drop it." Can I please get you to make a wisdom saving throw? You must bounce on it. You must make a wisdom saving throw.
My name is fucking Kyle.
Fuck! I'm not wisdom enough.
Roll it.
I did. The 9.
Okay. Tyr, you throw away your weapon. It falls out of your hands. You're not gonna need to use an action to pick it up. Using a bonus action, it's going to end its turn. Stacy, please give me a death saving throw.
Let's do it. Oh wow, first failure.
0 minus 1. And that's gonna be your turn. Tyr, you stand there and you've just dropped your hammer.
Well, does it take a whole action to pick it up or to equip it?
Pick it up and equip it is a whole action.
Okay, I'll just put it on my list, and then I run over to Stacy
Yeah?
to
Do you have a potion on you?
no, but I have the trait of lay on hands.
Yes.
I would like to do that.
How many points are you healing cool so far?
15, I would say.
Cool. So you come, Stacy. You come back to consciousness. On your next turn, you're going to have a bonus action. You come back with 15 hit points.
50.
What does Stacy see as you revive Tyr?
Literally just like me grabbing her by the shoulders and like, fucking wake up.
Shaking her.
Yeah, shaking her, and that inspires her to come back to life.
She wakes up with a gasp and slaps you.
This is how I would see that.
And I imagine then she says thank you or something.
I would hope so.
She says, thank you by Gaia. Yeah.
Oh, wow, crazy.
Wow.
I'm not sure if this doesn't seem like an action. Oh, it is one action.
It is one action. You still have a bonus action, and I believe. Sorry. 10 feet of movement.
Well, I have a big fat flame spell, but nothing to flame, so I will just stay here because I also only have one.
Great times.
Yeah.
It's now Omni's turn. Omni is going to. Seeing you in that condition, Omni is going to come over to you and use Healing Word. No, Healing Hands, which I believe is a spell. All right. To you for 3d4.
24.
20. Damn.
3d4.
3d4.
What? 24? 3d4, 4
20
points of
d4.
damage.
I mean, it's better than 0, so.
What am I getting healed for, boss?
4 points of damage.
4.
Omni sees that the healing spell isn't quite as effective, and they say, "Sorry." Performative.
I literally just like say from the dead almost, and Omni comes over. Oh,
Nevertheless, Stacy is shaken by all the support she gets, and she gets a little bit teary in her eyes.
See, Omni says, "Sorry, that last hit took something out of me." We move on to Ciceri.
To see who is Sasangri. But 55 feet of movement, I can get there.
Want to ping on the map where you want to go?
There, like
Excellent. You run back up to the decimal.
and I'm really going to do a running sort of jump to lay down 2 fists in the thing's face.
All right, give me the attack rolls.
Double checking something. Wait. No. 19. No, 21.
I dare say that's a 22, actually.
What?
It will hit either way.
And
And a 15. 15 will not hit, but the 22 will.
yeah, okay. Then first the slashing damage. It's 12,
12 slashing damage.
and then the lightning damage. That's 13. And
Are you resistant to lightning? I'm wondering. Well, how
Oh.
about that? It isn't.
during these dropping punches, he will be shouting, "You will not touch my bestie!" and activates Flurry of Blows. Thus
Keep
goes
going.
in for 2 more attacks. Arg. 11 and 19.
19 will hit.
All right. That's 19 slashing and 10 lightning.
The rest of you watch as Seti, really channeling that inner anger. You can see the crack across his face, the disfiguring scar growing a little bit deeper and cracking a little bit more across his face as he starts laying into this monster. And you can see feathers flying everywhere, chains clanking as they break apart, limbs being torn apart.
That's
You
so
hack off an
anime.
entire wing of the creature, and 2 of its eyes are now poked out. It cannot fly anymore. Great, Seti. Is that your turn?
Yep, that's my turn.
Don't touch my bestie. Samara.
It is me. First of all, I see there's like a little click over there. And I feel terribly excluded. So I will move closer. Like right here. One more to the left, please. Thank you so much. And then I'm very happy that Stacy is not dead anymore. Because like in the last minute I went through it emotionally. And I will cast Acid Arrow, 2nd level at the big guy. Yeah. Let me see if that hits. It was a 21. Does a 21 hit you?
Yes.
Oh my god. Amazing. And it is 12 acid damage.
12 acid damage now.
Yes. And then some more. Next turn of yours. Yes.
Great. Fantastic. Using its legendary action at the end of your turn, it's going to once again try to attack you with its chains, Seti. I dare say a 31 hits you.
Yes. I dare agree.
You take 8 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
As you can see, the chains wrap around you and suck some of your life force and funnel it into the creature,
It
who is
was-
now healed, though not sufficiently to undo the damage you did to it. You and Sumara. Right. It's going to be the beginning of its turn. Perfect. Looking at it's going to take 3 acid damage. Second off, one of its eyes is going to look over at you, Sumara, or something in Celestial. You can see Omni hearing that and growing a little paler as they look at you pityingly. The creature throws a chain all the way across the battlefield and wraps it around your waist, Yamara. Please give
my
me.
God.
Oh. Wait. Oh, right. First of all, does a 15 hit you?
No.
Great. You can see the chain wraps around you for but a moment and then it just limply slides off as the arm goes limp. As the arm holding the chain goes limp, you can see that some of the damage that Seti and you did. Stacy, you have a bonus action.
Let's see what I can do with this bonus action.
I should have asked Maxi what was Omni's HP level, but that's fine. Yeah, Stacy.
I need to quickly check. Where are my spells? There. Yes. With this bonus action, Stacy starts calling forth a healing spirit in the shape of course, a small little hamster.
And
And
Hamster.
the hamster will be like summoned. Like, do I know who looks the worst right now?
Yeah, sure. Xiomara, what's your health? Xiomara?
Shit, sorry, I forgot I was muted. It's 21.
Okay, Tia.
I have 5 HP.
Seti?
29.
There you go.
Good. So the little hamster will appear on Tia's shoulder.
Nice. Oh,
And this means on the start of your turn, you roll 1d6 for health.
okay.
Perfect.
And
Ah,
that's my turn.
At the end of your turn, the Decimal is going to use its second legendary action and try to siphon you once again, Seti. Does a 15 hit you?
Nope.
You can see all the damage you've done are really now taking effect as the thing can barely even swing it. And it's got 8 hands, for fuck's sake! Tia, it is now your turn.
Might have
Okay,
8
so
hands,
first
but I have.
I roll a d6 for recovering health.
Yep.
And then, if I understand Cicetti's condition correctly, is he paralyzed?
He's fine.
He's fine because he was in chains.
The chains wrapped around him momentarily before retreat, after they'd done their work.
Okay, I will then equip my hand, which will be an action, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure I can't do anything anymore. Unless I can also do an attack, but I don't think so.
No.
No.
You might use some of your movement to get closer to the Decimal.
I can do that. I will move diagonally behind the city.
Like
the
here?
other diagonal. Yes,
On the corner of the stall.
indeed. Thank you.
You can see the with a spectral hamster on the chair appears behind. Omni is going to throw one last dirty glance at the creature. The rest of you see an expression in their face that you hope no one ever looks at you with. It is something in between pure hatred and pity. As they raise their right hand index and speak a little prayer, as they fire an eldritch blast from the index finger. You can see a beam, an attack of pure darkness into the creature's side. Wow, you didn't tell me. Oh, Maxi. I'm currently looking at Omni's character. That's +7. Okay.
Maxi's been holding back.
As a warlock, I would go Eldritch blasting all the way, like pew 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 pew.
I'm blasting you.
So they don't seem to have much of an effect. With
Damn.
their movement, they're going to come a little. They're going to step up beside you, Seti.
Crazy
Once
Tindle
they can pull out
96
their,
just
the
resubbed
sword
for
of clips.
15 months. NT.
Seti, it's your turn.
Let me. Alright. I'm still standing next to it, so I'm gonna just beat on it.
Mm-hmm.
18? Probably miss.
An 18 will hit.
Nice. Then a 20 will also.
Yep.
So for the first one, it's 17 slashing. And
Yep.
14 lightning.
God damn.
Yep.
The second one is 18 slashing
Yep.
and 13 lightning.
You reduce the decimal to -53 hit points.
Okay. I'm not gonna stop.
How do you do this?
beating. I wanted to make reference, but it might be a spoiler for people who are not done with season 3 of Invincible yet. But like, it would basically be in that vein of the show where just like a character is already dead, but Seti is still like beating on the face continuously and continuously.
You can see you keep beating it. The lights in his eyes go out. All the limbs go. All the many limbs go limp as you keep beating and beating. Sacred, glowing blood, as hot as molten iron, flying past you, flying on your face. You don't even feel it anymore. You keep punching and punching and punching as combat drops. The rest of you watch in horror as Seti keeps beating on the creature, which is already dead.
I put one of my hands on his shoulder to see if he up.
Omni looks at you worried, Seti, as you're finally exhausted enough to stop. You fall to the ground, hands and knees. How do you feel?
Empty at this moment.
You get up again, and Tyr, you watch as Seti looks at you, and the whites of his eyes have turned a little darker. A singular black tear runs down one of his eyes.
Are you alright?
I think so. I'm exhausted.
Well, I think we all are. But you did well, Seti. I think if not for you, we would all be seeing the afterlife. Calm comes over the town, and then the hustle and bustle continues. Soon enough, Marty finds you again, as do. What's this thing? Go away.
Wow, rude.
The wise D16.
Hang on. Gonna move the 5 of you over here. Soon enough, Ashling and Marty join you and ask about what happened. With horror, they see as the Fey Song, the spiritual tree that has been protecting this town for centuries, has burnt down, barely alive at this point. Tears come to Marty's eyes, and Ashling simply looks on with an expression that not even you, Stacy, know what to do with. It all feels kind of hopeless as a single snowflake starts to fall, joined by others, and then many others. Party, how do you continue?
Like, just for frame of references, this happened in like the mid of night, right?
It is now. The sun has just sunk under the horizon.
Yeah.
So it's not quite the middle of night. It's like just past dusk.
But I'm going to
Best
go and
trip
get a
out.
drink.
Yeah.
We're all going to get a drink, in fact, as we're going to go for a little 5-minute break. See you all
Yes,
afterwards.
perfect.
The party's just defeated the horrid dismal, though. A certain solemn quality falls into the air between the bitter cold, the first snowflakes of winter falling down, and the promise by the Lord of Chains that in 6 weeks this town will burn. Samara said they were gonna go straight to the tavern. Omni's going to come with you, looking very lost and the rest of you, where are you going?
Bar.
You are going to the you are right alongside of
Yeah. First
Right
of
on.
I'm
all,
like just holding up, pushing them faster.
I need to get away from this tree, folks.
I
Um,
realized it was me.
Sadie and Stacy.
yeah. First of all, Stacy goes to Saseti and gives Saseti a hug, which hopefully feels like the first day of spring when the ice starts to melt away.
I think now Seti actually feels a bit warm again after
Despite the
being
cold
cold.
weather.
And then
The
Stace, I'd like to look at the Fey tree, and I'd like to check if there is like a blossom bud or something like that, or what kind of aliveness the tree still has.
you walk past Marty, kneeling on the ground, crying. A couple townies have come over since and put a blanket on her, trying to comfort her. Ashling is standing, her feet shoulder width apart, her arms crossed, looking as stern as you've ever seen her at this destroyed tree. You go to check its bark and you feel a little bit of life in there, though it is quickly fleeting. The needles are now starting to fall, these little purple iridescent things, quickly curling up and turning grey. This tree is only holding on by a thread.
Would
A
it be
strong wind could kill
possible
it.
to give it a little bit of life back with like druid craft, and just to give it enough for the hibernation mode? I mean, it's getting we are at the start of winter, so getting it to bloom or so would be wasted anyway, but like giving it a little bit back so it can go into a safe hibernation mode.
Give me a wisdom check.
A wisdom check. Let's do that.
As you kneel down at the tree, you put out your hand one of the roots and try to put as much energy into it as you can, trying to tell the tree to go to sleep so that you can heal it. You can hear the heavy but gentle. You can hear the heavy but gentle steps of Aisling as she approaches you. You can feel the energy flowing through you, trying to get into the deep bark, into the roots, into the capillaries, into the veins of the tree, to be rejected by something. You look up at Aisling, who looks at you, her face a bulwark, you're not entirely sure. She shakes her head slowly. Quickly, she looks around if anyone is watching, then she takes out a hunting knife, slits open her own hand, and drops a couple drops of blood. You can immediately feel that the tree starts growing, that this tree starts going into hibernation mode.
Stacy is a little bit scared because she thinks of like blood magic, and I bet blood magic is always bad. So yeah.
She sees the expression on her face and she gives you a ghastly smile. Truly the scariest thing that you've ever seen. Though, at some point, then you realize that, well, if she is what you think she is, then you probably have the least to fear from her. She quietly says, I think you still have a lot to learn from me. One way or another. Good on you for putting out the fire, girl.
Stacy nods, and also she looks down at her hands, and she noticed that there are still the scales showing. So she concentrates, and you can really see her like squinting her eyes, and she's like projecting her own picture of herself, so she gets back her normal half-elf-ish appearance again.
It doesn't quite work for a moment, but Ashling puts a hand on you and you turn. Right then. This has been a very long day after a very long week. I don't know about you, but I think I need a nap. We'll talk on the morrow, shall we?
Since Stacy's also so exhausted, she can only nod and pinch Ashling like a little bit on the elbow, because I think this is like the only thing she can reach right now. She's so small, and I think Ashling is also like really, really tall.
Ashling, I believe Stacy is out and proud 5'5", right?
5'4".
Out and proud 5'4", short queen, whereas Ashling, a Fearbulk, a giant kitten, is like fully 7 feet tall. She wraps an arm around you and gives you like a hug, and she starts carrying you out of the square. Ashling looks over to
Stacy
you,
lets this happen.
Ashling looks over to you, Steady. How are you looking?
Still stunned. Completely still trying to parse what just happened. Also looking over at what's happening and thinking, yeah, Stacy's mom's scary as shit.
Stacy's mom's scary as shit. Speaking of scary as shit, you hear some gauntleted feet approaching you. Followed by a whole squadron of boots running through the square, running across town. You hear shouts, commands being yelled, and the biggest command of them all approaches you. Lieutenant Kinesis looks at you and says, "You kill that thing?"
Well, we did, but the rest is already gone to sleep or for a drink.
Very well. You mind if I ask you a couple questions?
No problem, officer.
Very well. Come along. She takes you up to the back to the Ariane way.
Oh
Great.
man,
Now
I
let
didn't
me
get
just
a drink.
you know, slow. Let me just see if I can find her. I'm just gonna put her over here. Perfect. Right. How do I continue? The Ashling is here. Stacy is here. Everyone's there. I think I'm just gonna keep going with Seti and Dari. You walk up to the Ariane way. The patrols of the guards now are more active than ever. You can see that now all on high alert. Look, something. Of course, anyone would be on high alert after a night like that. She brings you up to the crew's quarters where one of the officers has been. No, she brings you up to the bridge, which has now also been refurbished into like a command center for the guard. You can see the artificers aren't necessarily happy with it, but they will acquiesce as long as Odari says so. She puts his head down on a chair next to a makeshift table. puts down 2 tumblers and takes out a very old bottle of extremely fancy Wanty hooch.
Ooh, yeah.
She opens it and pours you a glass and says, "Well, long day, wasn't it?"
Would you imagine the fact that I don't remember going to sleep. I kind of just woke up here after just teleporting.
She takes the tumbler away from you. Ah, that's so. She gives you a serious look and gives you the tumbler back and says, "Things have not been idle, it seems.
Mhm.
Last thing I expected was Ilmarites here in this town. Seems wherever we go, we meet this fucking crooked man. I heard horrible shouting coming from the square. Was that really an apparition of the Chain Lord?"
From what I understand, yes.
I suppose I should talk to Omni. Maybe Ashling again. Ugh. Very well. It seems we have 6 weeks to get this town to defensible shape, and one of the best supernatural defenses just went up in flames.
Wait,
We're going to try our best to figure out where the rest of the Ilmarites are hiding, capture them, and try to question them as to whatever they know.
that tree was the defense?
As, well, the way I understand it, Uago is not like Maracas. It's not like any town either me or you have ever been. It doesn't follow any gods. It follows nature itself. The Wild Mother, Gaia, call it whatever you will. The Feywood tree, the Feysong tree was a liaison to the Feywild and that kind of energy that it produced. It protected this place from malicious outside influences. That's why the out of the crooked. That's why the Black Circus, the way I understand it, wasn't able to attack anyone except us. They wouldn't be able to attack any townies. Now it's gone.
How could the aberration attack what the circus couldn't? There is the crooked man not bound by the same laws?
Now that's the question. Though it appears the creature you slew used to be somebody out of town.
Hmm.
If the town is in the protection of the tree and the townies are serving the chain law, then the tree cannot defend against him. Now less than ever. She takes a sip of her own tumbler. Fuck. Oh. Did you notice anything else that was strange during the fight?
No.
Very well. I should probably let you get some rest. Find your way back home, back to the roadhouse by yourself.
No problem. But you seem to know a lot about what this tree is and how this place works.
I've had a
How
lot of time
deep
to talk with the locals, and well, Mari has been more than forthcoming with information. She's just happy to get help.
how deep shit do you think we are in?
She looks at the tumbler, which is already empty. How's your chin sound? How do your eyes sound? We're so deep in shit, we don't know what isn't shit anymore. Of course, we're gonna have to make do. The prince seems to believe in you, and I suppose I will do the same thing.
Good one.
She smiles wanly. All right, now get out of here, Snakeskin. She goes. She receives some of her sergeants, start giving her reports. You leave the bridge and you walk down through the Ariana Way and come across a gaggle of artificers. Chief among them, the loudest and most intelligent of them all. Uh, uh, uh,
It's
your
easy.
good friend Azizi.
Yes.
Oh, hi, Sadie.
Hey, Azizi. How have
Hey,
you been?
oh, busy. They finally indoctrinated me into the little cult of theirs, meaning, the rack, I guess you'd call it. Only not just me. We've had a new recruit, and he's been a little bit controversial. Well, that brings me to my point. Would you mind helping us solve a little conundrum here? I know you're terribly tired, and I don't want to keep you too long.
For you, I have all the time in the world.
He smiles awkwardly. Excellent. Well, folks, move aside. We have an expert. A couple of very tired-looking gnomes. Coffee, and they move aside, revealing one of the automaton that attacked you on the airship. Its limbs removed. It is tied down, propped up on top of a crate. Every now and then it lets out a rhythmic buzz, but then it speaks also with like a metallic quality. Its voice having like a metallic quality. It moves its head over to you and says, "Ah, I see. One of the adventurers. Perfect. You seem to me to be a man of sure you'll be able to corroborate my findings." Well, you see, Seri, this is Buzz. He started talking not shortly after we landed, and apparently, in whatever way, he started developing his own consciousness. Don't look at me. I don't know how it happened, but he's been very useful. He started predicting things breaking in the ship before we even knew about them. He always knows how to fix them, but well, what he's been saying lately has been less than a Yes, indeed. You see, we won't be able to leave this forest in the condition that the ship is in. Bzz.
Do tell. What seems to be the problem?
Indeed. Chairman Weichstätter, correction, ex-Chairman Weichstätter, no, a corpse at the bottom of this forest. Well, he has been controlling the residual umbral energy in this ship. He has been using it to control all the elementals that power this engine. We have enough elemental energy to get this thing off the ground, but not to stay in the sky, if you catch my meaning.
There's no active stealing of energy going on right now, right?
Well, you see, the engine was powered by air elementals. After a while, they simply leave. But they were being kept in check by the shadow elementals that were being controlled by Alphonse. With him gone, well, nothing is keeping them in check. Bzz. We will have to find a replacement for the Umbral engine.
The full engine. It's not enough to just capture more elementals.
Nothing will convince them to stay, and once we're in the air, we will be too busy maintaining the ship. Bzz.
Stay keeps giving and giving.
Well, I'm not inclined to agree with the clanker over here. Well, if you come across something that could replace this big source of power, well, we might actually be able to get home. Of course, I think we will be fine without it, but, let's not challenge the gods.
Speaking of challenging the gods, what would happen if you were to just chuck a, let us say, a blue lamp into the engine?
You can see all all the engineers who were just kind of grumbling before have now all shut up and are looking at you. Azizi is making giant eyes, and from what you can tell, Buzz is trying to chuckle. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Now that might actually do it.
Ooh.
But probably will not be stable. Bzzzt. Well, if you think that'll work, I'm not sure what the consequence will be, but it would be a possibility.
My guess is with as unstable as the thing is, we might just teleport to somewhere we don't want to be, but
Bzz, bzz, bzz. Well, a place you don't want to be is just a place you want. Bzzt. Shut up. Well, thank you, Sari. I won't keep you any longer.
no, just one question, like say how much nature energy would we need? Could we mix nature and mechanical energies together to get the ship working?
Well, all mechanical energy is based off of natural energy. I don't see why it wouldn't work.
Okay. Might be another option, but then we might steal basically the magic energy this land has left.
Well, far be it from me to judge. Who knows where they got this energy from to begin with? He shrugs. The remaining artificers start going to their quarters and start grumbling once again. Apparently, the coffee wasn't strong enough.
Hmm.
In that moment, Seti, you finally feel your body crashing, and you stagger backwards, finally realizing just how tired you are. Oh, are you fine? Are you good?
Not really. I need sleep and I guess maybe a soul to keep my body together at some point.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but it sounds important. He hands you a mug of something that Seti has never even seen before. It smells very bitter, but kind of aromatic. Here, try this. It should be enough to get you to the roadhouse.
I chug the entire thing as fast as I can.
You suffer a little bit of a burn, but you're otherwise uninjured as you chug an entire cup of black coffee.
That shit's hot. What is that?
Yeah, and it's good, right? Seti,
It's
you have never felt more awake.
it tastes close to what we would brew in the Huanti mines and the Huanti breweries.
Yeah, indeed. Um, Hall invented this thing by taking some of the beans that grow in the jungles up north. They're full of something called caffeine, which apparently tells little spirits in your body to animate your flesh until you sleep. It's all alchemy to me, but it seems to work for you. Very well. I shall walk you down to the roadhouse. I'm sure Buzz won't cause any problems here on his own. Bzz, bzz. Yeah, you too. As the two of you make your way to the roadhouse. Fantastic. Moving on down to. Let's just go with tier.
Making our way
We're at the
downtown.
Roadhouse, I believe.
You're at the roadhouse. You've just gotten in. Stacy and Samara, I believe, have are looking for their own table. Ashling is keeping a watchful eye on Stacy. There's a gaggle of guardsmen who are in a hurry to get going. A couple of artificers sitting around a strange machine that has been propped up on the counter.
I want to look at that strange machine.
You start smelling the same thing that Seti just smelled, which is a bitter smell, but also aromatic. You can see it produces a thick black liquid, scalding hot from the looks of it, and they have it pour it into little mugs that are big enough for their little gnome hands, and they're chatting lively. Despite the hour, despite the cold outside, they seem to be more alive than usual.
I decide to stick with the ale and not get into this. Is the hot bartender here?
Little overworked, but spotting you nonetheless, he throws you throws you a quick wink and a smile. Nubis is here.
I'm rejuvenated.
Don't need any coffee. Fantastic. What do you do?
Well, I asked for an ale from this handsome young gentleman.
All right, with or without ice. Well, I guess that's question's kind of big, seeing as we've got the first snow of the year. Oh fuck! Oh, everything's going to shit. Here, 2 ales for you, but don't drink them both at once, eh?
I immediately, I immediately disregard what and drink pints at a time.
He looks at you vaguely disappointed as you. Is there anything else Tyr would like to do before he before he into his?
No, I think I take a look around. Is there anything else that seems crazy to me? I have the cards left.
For cards left, you have an idea that as a result of what just happened in the market square, Dari will not.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But I need to sleep, so that's Tia will do.
Yeah. You walk up to your room, find your bed, and you miss it by just a quarter. But just a quarter of a foot as you fall to the ground and fall asleep immediately. Your armor still on your body.
Okay.
Face pressed to the ground.
Hotel Trivago.
For what it's worth, Roderica keeps a very clean inn.
It's pretty good.
Karen on down to Samara.
It's for me. I think I'm having like a glass of wine with me. And I'm sitting in one of like the side tables with Omni. And it's just like the utter like what the fuck just happened is catching up. And I just turned to Omni and I go, your family is I apologize for my manners, your family is fucking insane. And I thought mine was weird. But what is wrong with your uncle?
They have their hand resting on. They have their head resting in their hand, and they almost don't hear it for a moment. Then they look up and say, "Oh, yes, Ilmar, Ilmar. He wasn't like this, but well, from what I've learned since my 2 weeks of arriving back on the plane, he does appear to have changed a little since the last time I saw him." They nod sagely as the gears in their head begin to turn. Remember the cultists we fought in Black River, the ones that were undead?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I believe this creature was very much the same, just, well, an evolution of the condition that these clerics suffer under. An evolution, no doubt, caused my... Well, don't call him my uncle now. I mean, not even really related to me. I mean, what are you looking at anyway? I'm not about to grow any more limbs. No, what do you want?
Aw.
Are you fine? Are you okay? I can imagine it quite difficult to meet your family under those circumstances.
Oh, he's not really family. He's just... I don't know. When we were at the shrine of Selen, I tried contacting my mother, though I couldn't. But I was left with a mission. And the mission was to figure out what the Crooked Man is doing and if it can be stopped at all. One way or another. You can see Eclipse, the orb that always floats around Omni's head and sometimes turns to a sword now, looks at you intently.
But
One
I
way or
think
the other.
we are on good ways to figuring out what's going on. And we have 6 weeks. That is enough to make good headways.
Hmm. I have an idea of where I want to go, but what are your plans for the next leg of our journey, as it were?
Mm, I think we have to sleep on it, but I have to be quite honest, I'm torn between the grove and this dead tree.
Sorry, come again?
No, I'm torn between the grove and figuring out what is up with this dead tree.
Yes, indeed. Isn't it a little strange that this creature thinks itself so important to name itself after grandiose, but terribly depressing place?
Yeah, that is what I was thinking. Thank
Listen,
you.
I might not have the best relationship with my mother, but let's not talk about that guy, right? I mean, ooh.
Yeah, ridiculous.
You look behind you. You look behind you, behind Omni across the see somebody across the bar snuck himself in and is now waving at you.
Oh no.
You're not entirely sure if anyone else can see him.
Sorry. Oh, that is so funny. I should bully more people. I just wave back, having my glass in one hand, the other just waving back, like very confused.
Omni looks around and says, Who are you waving at?" You look for a moment at Omni, then back across the bar, and there's no one there.
Was someone, one of the other patrons was being very friendly.
They say, right. Well, Yamara, I am loath to leave your company. Well, these legs are short and tired. I must needs seek restoration, but feel free to spend the night as you wish. They get up and walk up to their room. We cut up to the bedroom where Tia's like on the Omni's size for a moment, and then gets into the pajamas and then curls up on the bed on the one of the smaller beds, just taking up half of it.
Wait,
Like
everybody else's
awesome.
pajamas? Fuck.
Well, pajamas as in like sleeping clothes.
Ah.
The thing is that Tia didn't even bother changing. He just got drunk and fell asleep.
Oh
Right. Samara, you are left with your wine and your ponderings. Stacy, where are you sitting with Ashling?
Wherever she took me, I guess. Like I'm just snug in her arms.
Oh.
Ashling is sitting at one of the central tables, talking with two other druids who were in the area, talking excitedly about what should be done about the tree, what should be done about the town. You are just sitting next to her on the bench, just slumped against her, slowly fading off to sleep. Anything else you would like to do for the night?
Mm, Am I like listening at least with half a ear to the conversations, or am I like really just out and about? And because this was a really exhausting fight.
You tell me. Honestly, you tell me.
Okay, then I think Stacy tries to have at least one ear on the conversation, because deep inside of her she feels like she should pick up where she left 7 years ago and go back into the tutelage of Aisling, because it feels so unfinished and she wants to finish something in her life.
Well, what news do you bring of the circle?
Oh, it's not looking good, Mum. No. Micro, they spotted circus, black circus. They've been sneaking around our camp, which would be more of a problem if we didn't have a bigger problem, which that some kind of strange creatures started showing up. Don't even know what it is, but well, it's been killing the circuits, it's been killing the light, it's been killing the creatures, it's been attacking druids, and we don't even know what it looks like.
Another druid speaks up, a dwarf.
Oh yes, and well, one of our truffle beasts was killed by that creature, and well, currently we're a little short on mushrooms.
Great. What shall we do with the face on?
Well, there's one thing we can do, and that's wait. I suppose you were still going to perform that ritual of yours.
Well, there's nothing stopping me. There was nothing stopping me before, and now I feel even more revitalized in my actions. It
At the
needs to be
mention of
done.
the ritual, Stacy tries to be more awake and tries to listen in more.
One of your eye like lazily one eye lazily flutters. Your ear starts twitching. It's no use. It needs to be done, and somebody new needs to be chosen. For some reason, I don't think Maquela will be able to return to her office, one way or another.
Right, one way or another. Say, does that mean Stacy's coming back to us?
She may be, and she might even stay though. Not right now. She's on a quest from well, the Prince of Morocco, if you can believe it. Both of them go ooh.
Ooh.
Well, it's good to
at-
see that she's been looking out for herself.
At this mention, Stacy tries to fake it that she falls back asleep, so she doesn't have to react.
Your faking falling asleep turns into real falling asleep as the world around you
Damn.
goes quieter and more peaceful. Right, that's all three of you done. In that moment, Seti and Azizi arrive in the tavern. Xiomara, you raise your glass at them as you see them walk in. Azizi gives a curt little wave. Seti, is there anything else you'd like to do before the night is over?
Besides have another drink, because I feel very energized. And I feel like if I don't drink something else, I'm not gonna be able to sleep for an hour or two. Is Cuckoo there?
You see him in one of the corners, trying to help out Roderick as she moves plates aside. He gives you a short look and then nods before carrying a plate over to the back behind the counter. Do you beckon him closer?
I do.
When he's done moving his plates, Azizi takes his leave, says goodnight to both of you, and he sits down next to you. Well, hello, Snake Man. Don't think we've had formal introductions.
We have not yet, bird person.
Oh, clever.
Well, I was one of those goons that besieged you when you first arrived in Uaga, of course. I preferred staying in the shadows, while Blightwood preferred being a little shithead, and Sweetsong preferred making a big show of everything. I do feel sorry about the bees.
They were annoying, those bees.
Well, they're part of nature, same as everything.
That is true. Speaking
Can I
of
do
that,
something for you? Oh, yes.
I've come to, and maybe you can help me out with understanding, to understand that the tree was somehow connected with the Feywild.
Stands to reason that's why it's called a Fey song. Probably also why it was iridescent. And
Am I correct in understanding that whatever place you guys used to live has a similar connection?
well, yes, there's several Feisong trees. There's also several, well, other kinds of connections to the Shadowfellers that would just. The Sanctum Noctis, as I understand, which is where you were last week. Place.
I'm wondering if such a connection could be used to protect the town from danger.
He
And-
ponders this. I don't see why not. If the druids and the witches and the weirds can protect this town, why can't the circus? Well, I guess we're all busy murdering each other. If we were to have a change of management, perhaps it would change.
A change in management as in Blightwood or as in higher up?
He smiles smugly at that. I can say. Perhaps we all need to be, well, perhaps the circus needs to go all together. Blightwood, I don't know what he's planning with the circus. I'm not entirely sure that would be a good idea. I can tell you right now that the flautist, the current ring, isn't doing anything good with the circus, nor does he have any intention of doing so. We're going further up, we're talking, and he says this very quietly, finger-eating customers. And I don't think you want to mess with that. I take it you value your fingers, Snake Man.
Yeah. For now, I do. Oh, be it that my body is already alone at this point.
He nods, understanding. Well, I'm happy to lend you any kind of advice I have. Limited as my memory is, you might have gathered as much, but us in the circus were not really allowed to have personal belongings, and, well, it seems the contract understands memories as personal belongings.
You do seem to remember some things.
I don't remember my name. No, where I was from. I don't remember what my parents looked like. I don't even remember my favorite color.
Damn, that's rough, buddy.
He scowls at you for a moment, then laughs. I suppose some memories are more useful than others. From my counting, I must have been with the circus for 110 years. That's enough time to get to understand some things.
I guess we've both been given a second chance at starting a new life.
Well, if it was all up to Blightwood, I'd be underground now, which probably would have been a mercy, but he looks over at Ashling, who resurrected him a week ago. Though I guess, yes, I have been given a second chance.
I will not bother you any longer. Because I have the feeling I am going on a path that you would likely rather forget you were on.
If you mean to chase down the circus and figure out whatever curse has performed, I'll be happy to help you investigate. Good night, Seri.
Good night. What would you like me to call you?
Oh. Suppose if we're going by real names, could you call me Custian?
Can you repeat that?
Hang on. Custian. I think that's a nice name.
Custian. Alright, Cust. Enjoy yourself, Custian.
You do. And he wanders off. You have another drink, you talk with the bar owner, with some of the other patrons, and eventually seek your bed.
I found it right under there.
You walk into the bed, Tia already lying on the floor. The big bed, you have the big bed all to yourself, but you get out of bedroll and lie down next to Tia in solidarity. It's dead. You put a pillow under his head too.
I won't remove his armor. We're not that close yet.
He doesn't know it, but he Simari watches Ashling finish up talking with the other two druids, and as she carries Stacy, as she bridal carries Stacy up the stairs. After a while, you can see she comes back down and then stands at the bar. However, Siamara, I think you had different plans.
Yeah.
Plans. Sorry.
I have plans and plans. I think like I'm finishing my glass. I'm so nice and I'm bringing it back to the bar so that no one has to go and get it from the table I was sitting at. And then I go up to my room and I do my little night routine, which is just putting my spell book on its designated place next to my bag. You know, like removing all of the outer layers of my clothing, getting on my like little pajama that I have, summoning Wettington the Third, High Lord of the West, so that we can cuddle when I sleep.
Squeak, squeak! He climbs up on top of your head after you've undone and combed your hair.
Yeah, and I like give him a little pet. And I'm like, okay, I know this is a objectively horrible idea, but I do believe that it will be incredibly funny, and I need a second opinion. So I cast Sending, and I send to my favorite solicitor, Goodman. And you said I can use more than 25 words. I still will keep myself quite short.
What is the general message of what you're trying to say?
It's just my opinion about him trying to kill me and my father, and asking his opinion on murderous forest death circuses.
30 seconds later, you get a response.
My lord, your curiosity disturbs and fascinates me. We shall talk 3 days hence. Don't bother putting on appearances.
That's it.
Emotional or physical appearances.
Ooh.
Well, he didn't specify.
That is. Oh wow, there are some like expectations of me, but I will note it down.
So, Siamara, I take it that you then go to bed.
I go to bed.
You go to bed, and we go to another 5-minute break. See you all then.
Yay!
Have a good break. With no place on the
Welcome
map.
back, everybody. We pick up the next morning. It's alright? We pick up the next morning as the party finally departs on the next journey. Unlike last time, you will be gone for more than a week, because now the forest is even thicker with more dangerous people. Both the circus and the order have redoubled their efforts to make this forest theirs, basically. As you can see, all the locations you've already been to out, but there are 5 locations outside of Oago that are available to you. So I'm just going to go through the list and ask everyone. As you can see, 4 of the 5 locations even have a character who will accompany you, should you choose to go there. Great. Algernon, Simara,
Oh, you know I'm going to the tree.
you're going to the Blightwood.
Yeah.
Okay, you meet up in the morning with Custian, as he wants to be called. He begins guiding you through the forest from at least what he can remember. You spend about 5 days getting there. the road is long and treacherous, and every now and then you have to both avoid patrols from the Order of the Crooked Man and ambushes from the Black Circus. But eventually, the forest gets thicker and quieter until eventually you arrive at a place completely devoid of both joy and life. Hang on.
Oh fuck!
Did I call it?
They're going to work.
On a Monday.
Me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Me too.
Aww.
I haven't uploaded it yet. Hang on, just imagine in your brain. Wait, no.
I'm imagining a place without joy and life. I don't need to imagine
yeah.
I am in that place.
Why does it look like Berlin?
Hey.
Hey, I
was
love
nice.
Berlin. That's where my family lives.
There you go. You come across the blighted wood.
Yeah.
Great. Samara, I'm gonna carry on right down to Seti.
Now I have there a question before I go. Like,
Yeah.
what would Seti, from what he's gathered, think would be the best source of power for an airship that he can find in one of these places?
That's a great question. Give me an Arcana check at advantage.
Nice. In check at advantage, I'm gonna do so
Oh.
well.
Out of character, I would suggest Ketobel Pass because it's a smuggler cave, so there's a fair chance that there is something.
Ooh, 19.
With a 19, you ponder. You wake up in the middle of the night and ponder this question for a moment. You realize now that, as you already said, there's some latent magical energy. Some of it positive, some of it negative, some of it from the Feywild. Wherever you want to go. Well, you also know that the Order of the Crooked Man is looking for the Vine relics and managed to nab 2 of them. But you have an idea that they might be holding on to one of their. So, effectively, what this means is that you either want to seek Black Circus or the Order of the Crooked Man.
I think I wanna then go for the Order of the Crooked Man. That's
You once again meet up with Lafave. You once
Yes.
again meet up with Lafave, who looks very happy seeing that she gets to travel with the 2 of you, chatting along, making pleasant conversation. Steadily make your way to Muspel Island.
Oh,
The
by the
patrols
way,
of the Crooked Man. Yeah.
before we all left, I did give the I forgot the name of the item, but the veil, I did give that to
veil.
Xio.
Before you left with Custian, Siamara, you see that Seti hands you, wrapped up neatly, a piece of clothing. And he believes that it will suit you a lot better than it would. He then makes his way south east with Lafave. It takes you about 5 days to get to Muspel Island. You do get there eventually. You get there around dusk. You can see where 2 rivers meet. They create a little delta with both rivers is kind of flowing around a singular island, and sure enough, the island has been fortified. You make your way to an abandoned watchtower. So you can get a good look on it. Lafave looks on edge, and the air is thick with anticipation and snow. Great. That being said,
Lefave and Seti at it again. Hey.
A being said, moving on down to Tyr.
I mean, I honestly also want blighted wood. I think either that. Yeah, that's perfect.
You go down to the Blighted Wood with Xiomara and Custian. Custian seems a little, looks at you admiringly anytime you talk. So this might just be because you did a favor for him, or it might be because he honestly admires your discipline and your moral steadfastness. So Xiomara, you watch this with slight bemused curiosity. You aren't any slower, even though Tyr has an extremely stiff back from the way he slept, and is wearing
Pillow help.
and is wearing half-plate armor. You arrive at the same dead tree zone, which finally brings us to Stacy. Though I have an idea where you want to go.
Huh? Why that? No, when it was deciding time to see where everyone is going, something funny happened to Stacy. Somehow her demeanor changed drastically, like she's extremely joyful and adventurous. You haven't seen her act like that before, and she's like, "Arr, the smugglers, they need to be found out." And in the blink of a second, this also vanished, and she's like, "I need to do what is best for the balance of the nature. I have to go to my old home. Everyone who wants to follow, I think you should still be very welcomed. I mean, I don't know, many things might have changed in the last 7 years, but normally, at least when you get invited by someone who is part of it, and I think Ash, my mother, will do the bidding, so it would be fine."
You join Ashling as she looks at you firmly, not without warmth. And the two of you make the familiar road all the way down to the Autumn Dragon Circle. Eventually, in the forest, you come to a bit of a plateau, and the forest now is thick with both trees and like huge boulders that were left by a glacier that used to be here. There's a circle of boulders standing near the foot of the Red Ridge, and you would know, and Ashling would know, something that few people would know is that inside this little circle is actually an entire beautiful grove of wisteria trees, where the Autumn Dragon Circle makes its home. In this is the noise I make when I try to find.
I use my thinking noises.
You make your way to the Autumn Dragon Circle.
Yay!
Fantastic. The same morning you all leave, Omni gets up late. Though not because they overslept, but because they were preparing for something. Which all of you will only learn in another 2 weeks as they move over to Gatoval Pass.
Nice. I get to know what will happen there. That's so cool.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. Gosh, who do I start with? I guess I'm just starting with the one person who's alone. Yeah, Muspel Island.
I mean, I'm not the one person who's alone, right?
That's true. Hang on. Where's M? At the old watchtower, you make your camp, trying not to light any fires. With the oncoming frost in the air, you just bundle up at night and try to stay as close as you possibly can. You make some observations over Muspel Island, this island fortress in the distance. You notice that there are 2 types of flags here. For one, the maroon flags with the pigeon, with the dove on it, the
The regular Order of the Crooked Man is here. But also a grey banner with a crooked hand on top of it. The Inquisition. A faction which both you and Lefebvre are more than familiar with. For two, you notice that they are quite busy. You can see ships moving, landing at the island and leaving again. Many troops coming across the two bridges, setting in their reports, getting resupplied, and leaving again on whatever mission the Order of the Crooked Man is fulfilling here. After a while, Lefebvre starts making a plan. At some point past midnight, she reveals it to you. All right. Here's my plan. Marty was kind enough to give me this bestiary. She hands a little book, which details that river drakes actually make their home here near the island, somewhere there in the reeds. They don't usually attack people, though. It seems they don't really get along with the crookmen. She gives you the looking glass. She gives you the telescope and points out that they've actually displayed a couple of dead, like these large draconic creatures which are equipped for swimming. They look kind of like something between a sea serpent and a wyvern. And it is nesting season right now, so we might be able to use it to our advantage. That being said, as soon as all the chaos is created, we just need to get in there, get all the information we need, possibly set back their plans for a couple of weeks, and then leave as soon as we can. I dare say we might actually find some documents that will be helpful.
So we're looking for documents, but a magical artifact would certainly be also very welcome to find.
From the reports that Xiomara and Omni gave, I believe that one of the questioners had a divine greatsword. Maybe we can use that.
Maybe we can power a ship with that, just to the point that we could use
Get
the
to
guns.
the next city, yeah. Sure. So, Seri, this next session you will be entering a skill challenge. Just you and Lefebvre. Your goal will be to infiltrate Mospelana to the best of your ability, trying not to be seen, while gathering as much information as possible. Hang on. Once that skill challenge is over, Lefebvre will initiate a guerrilla, an ambush, trying to aggravate as many river drakes, which are these dragon creatures, to overrun the camp, make as much chaos as you can, and then get out with any business or document you find.
There I had a question. River drakes, so I'm guessing like more reptilian, so not really
They're draconic.
snake.
They are dragons. They are like they're just.
Yeah, so my animal friendship will not work because I can only cast it on snakes, I think.
Well, fortunately, I would count them as animals. I wouldn't. Great. Yeah, let me just see here. You want to get 5 successes in the skill challenge before you get.
You cut out again, like 5 successes before.
Before you get 3 failures.
Thought so. Okay.
So, how do you start? If it makes sense for her to do it, then Pop will checks.
I guess the first thing we need to do is sneak inside.
First thing you do is sneak inside. Indeed. You could possibly like fashion like a rowboat or maybe from the tree to swim across the river unseen. Try to make it past the sentries, sneak in through the palisades, and then make your way into the. There are plenty of trees on the islands itself, and like plenty of hidey holes. So staying hidden after that won't be much of a problem. Effectively, you can make me a singular stealth check.
Start. That's 20.
It's one success down. You make your way inside, and you overhear some conversations in between. Some fishing at the dock, some just carrying some crates about how in 6 weeks, they're not just gonna take care of Wago. They're also gonna stomp out the Black Circus of the Blue Forest, and then they're going to deal with the druids. Once all that is done, they will take control of the forest and turn it into a new home, which might even be capable of fighting all the other political players on the continent.
Fuck.
That's their hope, anyway. What's your next skill check?
Fuck it. I was about to say, like, I need to get a sort of ID where they would keep documents.
Oh, sure. Like investigation, perception, whatever else you might think makes sense.
Yeah, I want to indeed do. But now that you mentioned that, I want to first do maybe, before I do that, I want to do an insight on the conversations I hear to gauge the strength of the factions working together a bit.
Oh, yeah, sure. Give me the check.
Well, not only the strength, but like to find if there's some like tension, because there's two factions running about.
Mm-hmm.
Another 20.
Amazing.
All right. With another 20, you get the idea pretty fast that, just as you suspected, the Order is still just recuperating their losses. Though they have they have help from a god who doesn't care about the rules of life and death. Indeed, a lot of the cloaks you find seem to be a little less than alive. They're still kind of shambling around. Realize now that with since they've been battling the Black Circus wherever they find them, if the Black Circus were to just actually try to assault them where they are, they have the home advantage, meaning they would need more than just a miracle to survive it. If the druids support the Black Circus then too, well, you might have your work cut out for you. Additionally, you learn that the specific goal of the other goal that the Order is pursuing while here is to look for certain divine relics which are supposed to be here. Namely, it was 3 things. 2 you already know about: Sellen's Cipher and Umbra's Veil. A third thing they've already found: Lantana's Unblinking Eye. It's supposedly it has the ability to cut a direct line in between the planes of existence.
Ooh.
Which both Sellen's Cipher and Umbra's Veil have to reveal where the barrier between planes is the weakest. If they don't have all 3, however, their plan of traveling to another plane of existence is going to be, well, a little bit more difficult. Great. What's your third check?
There I wanted to check if how good Lefave is with intelligence.
Gosh. She's got an 18 intelligence, so plus 4.
Then I want to turn to Lefave and ask Mick, I want to say actually, if you You know this place probably better than I do how they operate. Could you maybe find a trace to where they would keep the documents we seek?
She nods solemnly and then starts. You can see her cast a specific spell with her blood magic for a moment, as her one good eye starts glowing red, and she picks up a bit of a trail. She leads you on and shows you that there's like a central administration building which is like put together from like freshly logged wood, which seems to be the most important building. You can see some very like imposing looking talking in harsh tones about their mission, and you get the idea that if documents were kept anywhere, it would be here. However, you learn another thing too. The Inquisition isn't just here. They've brought everyone, including the infamous, legendary Lady Inquisitor Justicia. You've only heard rumors about her. You know that she's supposed to be Dragonborn, that she's supposed to be fiendishly strong, that she's supposed to be mute, though still have the ability to make people talk. And she's not just here in the Blue Forest. She's very nearby.
If we get caught, we're in so much trouble.
Yep. She's the one who instructed me, so... Sadie, you do actually remember that back when you were in the dungeons of the... You found an enormous hammer made out of black iron that could not be wielded by any regular mortal. You saw that it was broken in half after being used to kill a massive demon. And a note written by the Inquisitor herself that shall not take another weapon until this one is fixed. You get the idea that she might have got a new hammer, though. Who knows with this woman? Right, what's your fourth check?
So we know where to go, but we're not in yet, I imagine.
You are like right around the corner. You could just sneak in at an opportune moment when no one is looking. Of course, you've already used the stealth check, this skill challenge, so...
Going to look for a couple of quick like robes or stuff for outfits and use deception to just walk my way into the building.
You walk up to a clothing line and find some of the robes of regular Inquisition clerics. You could put them on yourself and Lafave. You get the idea that only if you're quick, this is gonna work. This is gonna work well. Either that, or it's going to spell disaster. Give me your deception check.
Oh, 17, that could be good.
You walk inside and you immediately get some strange glances.
Okay.
You can see the Inquisition is inside, writing down everything they know, being bent over maps, and they all quiet down as the two of you enter. They don't do anything yet, but they give you some strange looks. You are sitting on 3 successes and a failure.
Fuck. Since speed is the key now. No, wait, no. The point is that we are where the documents are.
That's right.
I wanna like do a sort of wait, this is where we're supposed to be, and accidentally tumble something over, and then with sleight of hand, while trying to fix what I've dropped, take the documents.
You walk into a room, and on the way there, you pretend to walk into another cleric. In the confusion, while you profusely apologize, Lefave goes and grabs whatever she can. Roll sleight of hand. Or I guess the other way around, like Lefave is creating the distraction.
Yeah.
God Goddamn,
Nice, that's a good roll.
that's a good roll.
Well, I hope. Well, I hope it doesn't happen again. Be on your way, apprentice.
He stomps off as Lefava comes back and gives you a solemn nod. 4 successes, 1 failure.
Alright.
Oh yeah, along with documents, you also find out that there are in fact 3 prisoners being on this island. They are in this very same building that you're in right now. Though getting them out might create a little bit of
Commotion.
problems. Commotion. Just figuring out where they are might already be. Great. There's one more thing. Yeah. On Foster says the party learns the Inquisition actually has most of them from Wargo, with a select few from the Black Circus and the Autumn Circle. Only 3 seem to have survived the torture, though. The Order picked the island specifically to intercept anyone traveling into the forest from the southeast. Trading vessels have been overtaken, their load confiscated, and the crews either killed or converted. There's actually a single boat docked on the island's east bank. So that's what you learn on your 4th success.
Alright. We would need a distraction, but we also don't have the artifact yet.
Maybe creating the distraction will lure out the...
Yeah.
Well, it will lure the person carrying the artifact. But first, you have one more... You need at least one more piece of information before you begin the operation.
Yes. I'm running out of checks. Did insight.
Well, we haven't done investigation or perception yet. We also
Yeah.
haven't done... Well, a couple others. Acrobatics, maybe, to climb on top of the roof and get an over. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I was indeed looking to see how I could use acrobatics or athletics. But the one piece of information I'm missing is, to remind me again. Or
You know, you've got the documents and you know where the prisoners are. You all have an escape route.
Yeah. But then
But now you need to know how you're gonna deal with the... what your next step with the... what is going to hurt the Order most, besides just taking the prisoners?
yeah.
What
then,
can you take from them?
then indeed I am going to do an acrobatics to get in like rafters or something where I can have a good vantage point to see things moving in and out and get an idea what would hurt most.
Lefave and you make your way to the watchtower. You pretend to be exchanging the... As you wait for the guards to pass, you climb on top of the tower. Give me your acrobatics check.
Come on. Oh, yes.
At the northwestern end of the island, you see that there's a very plain tent that has more distance from all the other tents than any other. It's extremely plain, as I said, but it's also very imposing. Lefave mumbles something about Stacia always choosing very plain living quarters. It seems that if anyone were to have something truly worth stealing, it would be the Lady Inquisitor herself.
Then we must go there.
Very good. Let's retreat to our base of operations and plan the attack.
All right.
The two of you make your way back to your watchtower. You rest for a day and stay out of sight for a night. And the next night begins your cunning plan. Cutting away to Xiomara and Tyr. Where is it? Hang on.
The Blighted Woods. The...
By the workplace.
Let me find my notes.
I hope no one finds out that I only wrote about this place today. The party arrives at what seems to be the saddest place in all of existence. As far as the eye can see, there is nothing but dead trees and ruined structures of marbles. As soon as you enter, after a long travel, you can immediately feel that something is actively draining your energy. You have the idea that there's some kind of malefic presence in this place that is draining the life out of everything, including the plants, the animals, even the fungi. On a branch nearby, you see someone sitting and looking down on you. He gives you a smirk and a quick wave and says, "Ah, my good friends. How good of you to finally visit me in my abode. Now, I presume you have a specific reason for being here. Oh, he then notices Custian. Hang on. There he is. It seems you've revived one of my most... That's annoying. Well, good to see you too, Blightwood. Fear not, I have no grudge against you. I just want to figure out what this place is about. Well, what brings the two of you here, then?
I mean, I just had a feeling you.
Well, yes. But why me? What does a big, handsome man like you want from Hunt?
Well, this felt like the right place to go. If I don't know what I'm doing,
I can respect that. What about you, wizard?
Ach, I mean, I was just curious, to be completely honest. And I believe if we are on the search for an artifact, the first place to look for is the weirdest place you could find.
Now, finally, somebody of sound mind. Unsound place. Well, I would offer you to make yourself comfortable, but this kind of goes against the spirit of the place, wouldn't you say? My, you're already starting to look a little pale over there. Stop playing games, Bloodwood. What is it here? Well. He changes his posture a little bit. You can tell he's going into narrate. Long ago, this place was a grove like any other. A beautiful tree in the middle, grown around an ancient fey portal. Its purpose, unknown. Why the tree grew there to begin with, no one knows. But soon it was found that the tree was cursed, and it started infecting all the other trees around it. Animals started dying in the night just for resting here. The trees were drained of all their life and time. The moss and turf turned into stone. Not even the Black Circus like staying here, because, well, frankly, most of them have gone mad just from staying here for more than a night. Except me. Suppose that's why they call me Blightwood. I would argue with them. It is a rather fetching name, and, well, same as your good friend over there, I can't quite remember what it's called before. Well, if you want to find any answers, you'll have to figure out this curse. Though I will warn you, even I'm stumped.
Well, I love me a good riddle.
That's the spirit. Just don't use up all your enthusiasm at once. You might not have any left to draw breath tomorrow morning. Well, what about you, Cuckoo? Don't call me that. Well, I want much the same thing. And perhaps by the end of it, I'll be a little bit smarter than you are. How about that? Well. If I live to see that day, well, I might even apologize for stabbing. Very well, take a look around. I shan't stop you. He appears to get down from the branch. But as soon as you're supposed to be jumping down from the other side, like expecting to fall down, he disappears. You now are gone in the most fucked up place in this forest that you've seen so far.
Gotta admit, I've been to a lot of weird places, but this place always gives me the chills. Well, party, how do you start?
I mean,
How-
it really doesn't feel right. But did we get any starters for that riddle, or was it just?
I mean, the curse is the riddle.
Oh, of course.
I would love to take a clear look at the surroundings of the tree, since the curse seems to stem from the tree itself.
You see that you're like at the edge of a valley. The dead trees growing all throughout, twisting through each other. In the middle, indeed, there's a singular giant tree, grown over what appears to be a primordial kind of arch made from black marble. It appears to be no more than like 100 meters away from you. The more you walk, the slower you are. Roots seem to be twisting around your feet. Give me a perception check.
Of course. 13.
You look around for your companions, seeing if they're still behind you, and they're gone. You're all alone all of a sudden. Tyr, you watch as Xiomara wanders off to investigate and disappear.
Just gone completely.
Gone?
Oh, I would like to. Do I see in which direction it is?
Yes.
I would like to sort of go slowly in that direction. My see if try to.
You can give me the same check.
Wow.
You see for a moment just the outline of, and then roots wrap around them and grab them and pull. You look behind you. You look behind you to see where Custian has gone, and the same thing happens to him too.
He also gets pulled away.
Yeah.
I don't. I just stand here.
For a moment, you stand there, scratching your beard, and then you feel something grabbing your foot. Everything goes black.
Yeah. Damn.
We are so smart yet so dumb.
Xiomara,
Yes.
you come to your senses in a not altogether unpleasant place. You find yourself standing upright, a massive hall, high ceiling, pillars, arches, arcades, the lot, all seemingly made out of dark red volcanic stone. You can see every single column, and there are 10 of them, is decorated with an opposing statue showing a truly horrifying and beautiful creature with a horned skull. You look down yourself, you find that you're wearing the most beautiful and infernal looking outfit that you've ever seen on anyone. You're not entirely sure where you are going, but you got an idea that you were supposed to be going forward toward. You seem to remember to be an audience hall. You go forward, you notice that it is oddly cool and dark in here. It doesn't altogether feel real. Soon enough, some horrid creatures start attending you. The skull inside of you would call them Red Abishai. But they defer to you as if they were little butlers. They start crooning around you, trying to make you as comfortable, but you wave them off, and they all apologize as they point you towards the audience chamber. Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Simara, you wander through this infernal hall. What are you thinking?
This is strange, but also weirdly familiar. The whole like noble get together and everything is very much like, yeah, I know this, but I would like to not be here.
You would like to not be here. Give me a charisma saving throw.
Charisma, wait. Wait, I need to change. There you are.
MJ
That's a
Killer suggests
23.
resub for
I'm very
24 months.
charismatic.
Forgot to share
You
that
feel
earlier, XD.
your forehead begin to ruffle. What are you doing here? You look down yourself. You see that your ring of disguise is nowhere to be seen, but you feel weirdly unbothered. You realize now that whatever infernal place you are seems to be some kind of reflection of the infernal inside of you. It doesn't seem much like a dream, you think. You keep going forward. You look at all the archdevils that have been chiseled into the volcanic rock around you. The Abishai, the imps, all the other devil creatures floating around, bowing before you as you walk through their path. You feel glorious, but also corrupt. You finally get to the audience chamber, and you can see that it's actually on top of the mezzanine, a great balcony overlooking a truly mind-bogglingly large infernal city. There's a throne atop the mezzanine, upon which sits a creature almost beyond your comprehension. She's tall and dark, horrifyingly beautiful. And she looks at you with a smile as she stretches a hand for you to kiss.
Ooh, yeah, we play along. Yeah, no. I kiss the hand.
You kiss the hand of Queen Asmodeus. She says something to you, but you can barely understand it. You can see now that the mezzanine is filling up with a bunch of other very official devils. They all seem to be arguing about some kind of ongoing war. Queen Asmodeus seems genuinely bored. There's a familiar face standing next to her, a tall, pale devil who barely notices you, who you recognize to be Archduchess Mephistopheles, a different person who looks familiar in an altogether different way. Skip-a-bop.
The black poodle.
The black poodle. No.
Aw.
One of the officials can't keep his eyes off you. He beckons you closer.
Sir, let's talk to him.
My lord, you seem terribly bored at this gathering. You usually enjoy yourself much. What has occurred?
Well, you see, sometimes the mood simply doesn't strike.
Well, that's strange. I've never known you to shy away from wicked souls, but well, suppose you also never shy away from just being honest with me. I appreciate that about you. Say, how about we have a little bit more private conversation? I'm sure the War Council won't tear themselves apart over a little bit of absence.
Oh, we can only hope, but you know how they are.
He chuckles and offers you a hand. You can see now that it is a prosthetic made out of a seal.
I take it and let him lead me to wherever it's more private.
He takes you to a little bit of a fountain chamber. The water spear, what is it called? The gargoyle. Resembling a tortured soul ripping its own heart out. Ah, a little more private. Ah. My lord. You can basically hear the echoes. You can see a red orb floating around him. I wonder what Omni sees in you. A friend, no doubt. But oh well. Don't worry, I know why you're here. This isn't real, in case you were wondering.
Oh, I would
This
already
is
gathered.
indeed. I'm sorry to say, but I'm not quite subject. Still, perhaps there's a good. He does a little. He bows before you. Deimos, Prince of Nightmares. son-in-law to Queen Asmodeus, who has some relation to you, I'm sure. Here, it appears you're trapped inside of a nightmare and, well, the territory and all that.
Sure, but even though as far as nightmares goes, this is still quite accommodating.
Mm-hmm. Sure. But consider this. You may be as powerful as you'll ever be, but you're also as corrupt as you'll ever be. I mean, look at you. You look as much of a devil as any of us. That being said, you are also not free. Do you think anyone can ever leave the court of Asmodeus?
Well,
How long do you need to dine with the most powerful cause before you realize that you are her slave and not her ally? Do you ever wonder if the powers you are calling might not be acting in your best interest?
when I believe power itself has no moral or justification, simply what you do with it.
Indeed. But do you have the power?
Not yet.
You seem to be under the impression that power is something that can be gained and given out at the beginning of the universe, and that it would always stay with those hands that had it to begin with.
Well, I suppose you're here to tell me that I'm wrong, and that I need to think about my ways.
He chuckles at that. Oh, God, no. No! I'm here to help you get out of this nightmare so you can show Blightwood that he's an idiot. Anyway. Oh well, I just wanted to put things in perspective. Things are not always as they seem, you know? And I'm lucky to have found you, after all. You could have had a nightmare about inheriting father's money or something. I don't know, or maybe about being absolutely shit at casting magic.
Oh,
I,
that would
I
be
wouldn't have been
horrible.
able to help you with that.
Oof. No, I should be thankful that it's only this and not me failing my magic classes, because the last time I dreamed about that was not a good week for anybody involved.
He nods sagely. Yes, I remember. Oh, very well. Well, I suppose it's time I show you the exit. He walks you through the chamber and opens a little door, which up until then just seems to be a part of the wall, but he just kind of nudges it with one of his fingers and it inside. Very well. I shall be calling a police soon enough. Do take care of Omni for me, will you?
I can
I
try my
worry
best.
terribly about them.
I will keep an eye out for anything.
Very good. See you soon, cousin. You step out of the nightmare. Tyr,
Sure.
you're working in a puddle of blood. You cough for a moment, and both smoke and blood come.
Ooh.
You look around you, you appear to be in some kind of like city that was built on top of a lake. You can see there's like waterways everywhere. How all the channels and canals have been filled with blood. You have some kind of inkling that you had something to do, but you're not entirely sure. Indeed, it's very hard for you to focus right now.
Why is that?
Well, everything is red. Everything is pulsating. You can't scream.
Oh. Okay, great. Okay, so Tear screams. In the meantime, I guess I'm trying to answer my position world that I'm in.
You tumble down from a pile of on. You look around, and the entire city is in ruins.
Is it a specific city or just?
You feel like you used to know this, but
punching it. You can see now that your hammer is still stuck in. As much as you want to try, you will not let it go.
Do I see anything else around?
Oh yeah, lots. People are screaming and running from you. Those are too lame to run and scream are cowering in front of you.
Is there any of them that doesn't scream and run?
There's an old lady who simply looks at
I mean, Tia would have known that this.
inside. This feels more real than anything you've ever.
Oh God. I'm gonna fucking away. I have hammer in hand, but I like then throwing it away a couple of times while I lose grasp on everything, and I just run straight forward towards this.
You run towards the city. A building seems to appear in front of you, though there's rubble falling aside, as nothing seems to be able to stop you now. The old lady just looks on and lets out a little sigh. You come to the center of town, where once stood a memorial to those fallen. You've since defaced that memorial and a pile of iron.
I don't know how I'm coping with this. This seems.
You start screaming, "I don't know how to cope!" As you start screaming and screaming until your lungs finally go hoarse and you can't scream anymore. And there seems to be a little moment of. Give me a charisma saving throw. The hammer drops from your hand, and you finally grasp your skull. The splitting headache has finally no longer.
Oh, okay. But I take it with calm because at least now there's coming from the inside, or
The blood and smoke coming from your mouth now finally is replaced with tears coming from your eyes. You slump to the ground, finally able to resist the rage inside of you. Years, decades of frustration, not knowing what to. Little more than an animal following orders. Without orders, what are you but a killing machine? What are you but a killing machine? Tyr.
Well, I'm a protector of people, and I'm a good friend to many people that I meet. I'm somebody that holds on to principles and follows them.
Do you have principles even if you can't follow anyone?
Yes, I'm my own man. I don't need orders from somebody that I don't.
I am my own orc, you say to yourself. As the red finally leaves your vision. For a moment, it seems you're finally able to focus. You take a deep breath as the buildings around you are replaced with coniferous forest. You let a long sigh, and you finally realize the thing you're afraid of most is being without a direction. Seems you'll have to find your own. There's another arch made of black marble in a clearing. It seems almost inviting you to step through.
Well, this is something where I'm supposed to find my own, but also we're trying to solve the puzzle. I feel like this is luring me into another. Do I
You
see anything peculiar about it?
you look at it and it seems like a perfectly normal arch. The world around you seems to kind of swim. It seems to kind of blur as you realize you are still still trapped inside of your own mind.
Right.
So the only thing that isn't blurring is the marble arch.
Here I go towards the marble arch.
You find yourself standing upright in the middle, in front of a giant tree. Next to you stands Samara, looking at you kind of stupidly. Not soon afterwards, the ground opens up and produces Custian. The three of you have made it through the grove.
Well, this was great.
I
And terrifying.
see. I never doubted us for a second. I knew we would get this done.
I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah. Felt for the last 5 minutes.
No, we can think about the existential dread when we have settled down for the night and have time to actually work through our emotions. But not right now.
Custian interrupts both of you to let out a loud scream. I'm fine! I'm fine! Oh god! Oh!
Oh.
See, this
You're
is how
real!
you work through existential dread.
He reaches out towards both of you, trying to grasp you.
I hold his hand really, really awkwardly.
I let him touch me. I do not
Ooh.
Oh, you're real. You're both real. Oh, friends. Oh, this was terrible. Oh. Blightwood appears on the branch nearby. Well, well, well. You actually did it. You made it through the forest of doubt without letting it consume you. That's fun. He looks a little bit frustrated at that.
I should be insulted that you doubted our skill sets.
Well, perhaps I lured you here because I knew only. Well, you still have to lift the curse off of this place. He points at the big tree growing through the marble arch. It seems that whatever is in here is causing, well, whatever just happened to all of you. Custian,
That's my turn now. Custard.
Custian custard to his friends. throws a rock at Blightwood and it hits him square in the face. Ow! Ow!
Aw.
Right, that's deserved. Ow! Ow!
Hell yeah.
Cut over to Stacy. And we're back. Specifically, we're back with Stacy.
Yes.
Stacy, you make your way into the little crevice that leads into the inside of the stone circle. There's a giant boulder covered in runes blocking your path. Ashling speaks the ancient passphrase and it moves aside. But as soon as you move inside, you see a masked drow druid approaching you. There's a little owl sitting on. You recognize this to be Micra. Micra says, "Ah, you're back, and you brought Stacy. Haven't seen you in years."
Stacy
They
shyly.
step closer.
Oh.
They step closer and put like both arms on you to make sure you. Unbelievable! All these years, I thought you were dead.
What is Unkraut in English?
Weed.
It's
You know, weed doesn't die.
Ah, suppose that's true. Either way, I'm happier to see you than I am to see weed, especially because, well, Mother Ash, I have some very unfortunate news. Out with it, Micra. It's been a long road. Well, you see, it's not necessarily getting better. The Black Circus is still on our ass, and this strange creature is still killing all of our livestock. I'm afraid we'll be busy, doing a lot of work, and, well, all the apprentices have been asking a lot of questions that we haven't been able to answer, and I suppose that, and I fear they might swarm you as soon as you step into the circle. Ashling turns to you for a moment, Stacy, and says, Stacy, I'm afraid I'll have to take care of a couple things before we'll be able to settle down for good. Go with Makra. They will show you where you can put your things for the time being. I'll have to attend to these apprentices. We'll talk at sundown. Is that right?
Stacy nods and she tightens her backpack and grabs the two leashes with her hands, like, let's go.
Like a good exchange student. Great. Just as predicted, Ashling is swarmed by like a gaggle of apprentices. Some you know, some you don't. You can see there's a bunch of like a lot of new people here. A lot of you can see a lot of old faces. Some of them waving at you, some of them scowling at you. There's one person missing though, and that's Sister Jacqueline. She was a little bit younger than you. She was a human, and she joined around the same time that you did. She had um, she had a different master. You weren't gone for that long, and she doesn't seem to be anywhere. Now, this is a question for me that you could actually decide as the player. There's somebody who was ostensibly a friend when you were still in here, but like, what do you think was Stacy's relationship to this person?
Let's see. Like, probably she hung out with them, but also she always tried to keep them at a distance because yeah, back then she was still like more of the mindset of being a little hermit and not depending too much on others, because when you depend too much on others they can let you down. So if she would see them again, she would be happy, and probably she would try to form like a deeper connection.
You wonder where Jacqueline might have gone. Makra unfortunately informs you that 1.5 years ago, she was crushed by a tree and died.
Yeah.
This yeah, kind of tackles Stacy because she realizes that she probably lost on so many good experiences because she was afraid.
Indeed. Kind of thoughtful and melancholic, you let Micra guide you to one of the hay tents, one of the few supply tents that is filled with, in this case, hay. You can see a little creature sleeping inside of it. It looks up at you lazily. Micra gives them a good pet, and the creature looks at you. You can see it's something called a poke snout that scholars of the 21st century would. Hang on. Duh, duh, duh. Sorry. A Centrosaurus. You can look that up on Google if you like. It just kind of looks at you with its big horned nose, lets out a sigh. You can tell that this animal, if indeed can be depressed, it is. As soon as you're settled in, Micro looks at you and says, "Well, as far as I can tell, well, currently getting ready for battle because you never know if Circus finds out where we actually live. But you could help out a bunch of us in other ways too. For example, you could help me finally track down whatever this beast is that has been attacking all the wildlife here. What do you say?"
Yeah, look, I can help you with that, but Why is this circus attacking us?
I've no idea. They've been getting a little bit more uppity in the recent years, especially since the Order of the Crooked Man landed here. They seem to be very territorial right now. Unfortunately, this includes us. Oh. Well, we, the scouts, have been able uh, to derail them long enough, but it's only a matter of time before they attack us directly. Well, at least lately, this weird creature has been distracted them also, but we don't want it coming too close either. If you could help me, like, set some distractions, maybe set some traps, maybe kind of deter it, be great. As soon as you're ready, the two of you leave the circle and start looking around for whatever tracks you might find. Stacy, how do you think you would try to deter this creature from coming closer?
Mm, so it was said that the creature um attacks the livestock or like the herd
It,
animals
ac-
from
it
the.
attacks everything that isn't a plant. It
Uh-huh.
leaves no trace. It is invisible. And it can punch with the power of a troll. Um, that being said, it always leaves some kind of track in the vegetation. It always weird, a little bit disheveled every time it passes through. So at some point, you have some kind of idea of it. And yes, it has been killing all of every single animal that comes into place, meaning that all the birds, little dinosaurs have started flying away. Um, Bugs run through the underwood to try and get away from it. Um, like even the greater dinosaurs that live in the steering clear of this creature.
Mm, okay, so you catch mice with uh bacon with bacon. So probably I would try to figure out what the creature is fancying. And since it's kind of invisible to the eye, um I'd try to put up some traps which would look like lametta going from the trees, but it looks like it's just some other wicks which go down. So it looks very nature-free, but it's like the entangled roots. So whenever something gets caught in it, they try to um, keep the thing in like bound.
All right. So you're trying to trap it basically by
Yes, but not
creating.
the way it's a harmful trap. It's really just to get a hold of it and maybe try to figure out if there is a way to let the creature live. Because when it is in the area, it maybe was destined to be there. So we have to figure out if there is just a something disrupting the creature's normal behavior, and that's why it's going rampant.
Right. Why don't you give me a survival check to
Oh
figure
yes.
out how best to lay the trap? With a 22, um, you actually figure out a bit of a pattern, and you can find out that it's pretty erratic. Like, direction this creature has been. You find that there's like a little brook where animals drink water every now and then. And, it has kind of been leaving it alone. You kind of get the idea that this creature might be hydrophobic? So you lay down a trail that, with some druid craft and the help from the other scouts, imitates the scent of animals, and especially the animals that it's been hunting. And soon enough, the forest grows quieter. It seems your trap worked, though if you were to go and check on it, find it there. Perhaps that was enough. Great. Micro takes you back to the circle and tells you to seek out. burp, 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 To seek out a burly dwarf by the name of Adam, fittingly. As you find the dwarf, you can see him in the garden where you grow all the supplies all the plant supplies that you can't hunt for. Um, he turns to you and gives you a big hug. Says, "Ah, Stacy, me girl, it's good to see you again. What brings you here to our lonely camp?"
Mm, Actually, duty and unfinished business.
"Oh, right. Don't I know it? Well, if you're trying to help me with my own, you might have noticed it, but frost is slowly creeping into the air, and we need to get these potatoes out of the ground before they freeze over. Can you help me with that?"
Of course.
Right, cool stuff. Stacy, what kind of check are you doing um, to dig out the spots as efficiently as possible?
As efficiently as possible. Um, it would be probably a nature check mixed with druid craft because like the idea is to give like the earth a little whoosh, so the spots come out of the ground a little bit more, or the earth around this is crumbling, because normally you pile up the earth on the sprout of the green thingies, and there should also be the spots, and yeah, to already make the earth like more fluffy.
Yes, yes.
It's a good way to use that, and then probably something to be swift. Yeah, then afterwards an acrobatics check probably.
All right, give me a nature check and then an acrobatics check. All right, with the
Amazing.
20 and a 23, you managed to dig up all the spuds and put them into storage without much of a hassle. With all said and done, Burl gives you another big hug and sends you to find Sister Rosegill. Remember Rosegill being kind of a weirdo? She was always extremely tall, extremely skinny, and she's bird folk. But her feathers were always kind of curly for some reason, which she didn't understand. Didn't think this could happen to bird folk. She flutters a little bit as you come in on her, but you can see her. You can see she's in the stored area where you're currently at with Burl, and she's sorting through a bunch of the mushrooms. She tells you about how you used to the circle used to have two truffle beasts, as in like what would usually be pigs, but there are no pigs on this continent. Snouts or centrosauruses. You used to have two. One of them was unfortunately killed by the strange creature that you helped trap. And ever since then, it's been kind of unmotivated. So basically, if you could help me bring him back to his former shape, that'd be great. Because we need to find ourselves some truffles. Important for potions, you see.
Stacy puts her hand under the chin and makes the thinking pose, and she tries to think of a way to motivate the animal, and she starts speaking aloud because this is what she does when she tries to think about something. Okay, so the partner are away like forever, and now they don't want to seek truffles anymore. Hmm, hmm, hmm.
That's about
Well,
right.
well, they were like always together on the hunts, or did you have them separated on the tasks?
Well, they used to live together, but on the truffle hunts, they would usually go alone.
Hmm, hmm. What is their normal behavior? Do they had like a certain routine when they were off duty?
Well, the same thing it is now. They get fed twice a day. We let them out to graze. We play ball with them sometimes. She points at like a big leather ball in the corner of the storage room. But now every time we try to throw the ball at her, she stays lying down. She's not interested in anything, especially not finding truffles.
Hmm. So this seems like maybe this was behavior to impress their mate. Hmm.
Maybe she's just grieving. Either way, we need her finding truffles soon.
Stacy goes to the poke snout and
It looks up at you. It's like the size of like a big dog, but like it has like leathery skin and quills
yeah,
on its back. It looks at you with big sad eyes and lets out a long sigh.
and Stacy casts speak with animals because yeah, she wants to hear what the poke snout has to say about the situation.
What's the point?
Oh, the point is always for the surviving ones to live their best life. I mean, wouldn't this be something your partner would have wished for you?
I guess so, but it's hard to tell. She's gone now. I don't know if we'll ever find anyone like her. And I'm
That's the
all
thing.
alone here.
You will never find someone like them because they were special. They're one of their own. You will find others for sure, but they are different. But you will appreciate the differentness. And it will take
Hmm.
time. I can't say if it will be tomorrow or in a week or a month, but there will be a way. And it's not quite clear when or how it will happen. It could even be that it will never happen. But I think trying is always the way forward. So okay,
So you're
you're
saying either way, I stay here, I go out. If I stay here, I will definitely be miserable, but if I go out, I might not be.
correctly when you be in the pit is you and the pity pities you. But when you go out of the pit, maybe the pittiness will go away.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I'm close to it.
As you try, as you try to do therapy on this, on this little dinosaur. 19, I think, will do it. She gets up and shakes herself a little bit before resting her head against your side and says, "Oh, thank you. I think I'm ready to
You,
go searching for mushrooms again." So
if
you
you want,
wouldn't
I
have
can
any.
go.
So you wouldn't have any apples on you.
Oh, let me check my inventory. Surprisingly, I don't have any apples, but I have 5 yucca roots or a wheel of cheese.
She takes one of the yucca roots and it goes on her merry way to find Rose Girl. By the time you're done with everything, it is dusk is falling upon the land. You can see all the apprentices are finally letting. And she has a moment to call you over and says, "Well then, that's all their questions answered. Seems I missed a lot of things. Uh well, you've never been to that place, but I would like to take you to the inner sanctum because I need to show you something, Stacey."
Daisy gets big eyes and a little gasp gets out of her throat, and unable to communicate her thankfulness to see it finally, she just takes her hand.
You have to stop yourself from jumping in place, and she smiles wanly as the two of you walk to one of the far rocks in the circle. She speaks another passphrase, and a boulder moves out of the way and reveals a passage down. She guides you down the stairs. And at this point, we're going to call out a session. Thank everyone for playing with me
Hey.
once again.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
By the way,
I'm not tired at all, I swear.
Right. We're going to enter into the post-session part. Don't run away yet.
I'm not running away. I can hear everything.
Well, I was going to ask a question.
Oh, right here.
Thank you. Look into your notes. What was your prompt for today's tier?
My prompt was make it.
Very good. Algernon, what was your prompt?
I'm not muted, am I, right?
No, not muted.
No.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. My prompt was to try to appeal to wisdom you didn't know you had and trust my intuition.
Ante, what was yours?
Find connection with another being.
Mm-hmm. The lovers. And finally, Stacy.
Honor the old rituals and honor the old way.
Perfect. Now, looking through all of you, I think you more or less, each of you like did it in some way. That's a fun thing with tarot cards. We don't have to be as specific. If I look through each of you, I think it's interesting to me, especially that Xiomara really held their own, even when talking to Archdevil, which is interesting. Seti, you went out of your way to make a connection with Custian. You even helped him like find a new name for himself that isn't tainted by his former allegiances. Tyr, meanwhile, despite being turned into a literal monster in his own nightmare, found a way to settle himself down and move on, which I thought was good. Finally, Stacy, who followed the old way, and instead of investigating, went on to help Ashling with her own old. Kind of a tough decision for me today. I think I'm going to give it to Stacy this session.
Hey,
Woohoo!
congrats.
Thank you.
So, Stacy, what is your lowest ability score?
My lowest ability score. It's charisma.
And it
Ooh,
is?
10.
Well, it's 12 now.
Mm.
all that leadership of going around and helping with problems really showed off.
True.
And being the what was the word? I helped the little dinosaur with their grief.
Oh,
Yeah.
Aw,
dinosaur.
true.
Florence said he didn't need to be persuaded.
Oh yeah, I did say so. I said I'm persuaded.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
Right. Amazing. Amazing. A truly great session, I think. I wish I'd had more time to prepare this month, but sucks to suck, I guess. I think we still had a good set. Are there any closing questions from any of my players?
I am wondering mostly, like, am I going to get into combat next session with
Yes,
like
all of you are getting into combat next session.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to deal with the fucking
Except
Inquisitor.
Omni.
What?
Except Omni. Omni,
It's just a baby.
No.
Oh, speaking of just a baby, what about our homework?
oh yeah, I had homework. Well, for all the everyone outside of the I asked each of my players to come up with an epitaph. An epitaph basically is an alternative name, a title, and a reputation they might. I'm just gonna go through the list here again. Siamara.
We had homework.
Forgot about the homework.
I forgot about the homework. I'm so sorry.
Well, in this case, you can think about this until next session is in 9th. Same old
Yeah.
time, same bad channel. You can think about an epitaph, first homework. Second homework, please think about a name for the party because I'm tired of calling you all the party in my notes. So think about an epitaph, like some kind of title, like Seti the Swift or Siamara the Infernal Scholar, something like that. Like imagine you're a Dark Souls boss.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing.
The
Life
ever,
Amazing.
the ever wet Skelly sleeper.
Right. Yeah. Good shout, Stacy. I'm gonna spare you for now, but next you're on.